This is a typical conversation between two siblings discussing the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and the serious health consequences on the patient.
Kyle, why won't Mom let me go out and hang out with my friends?
Sorry, Kaden, but we really had to focus on social distancing and maintaining the home quarantine. You can still get sick.
Why? I only see elderly people get it.
Not so true. There's also younger people getting it. Let me show you this video to show you this young boy who got sick and show you how it impacted his health.
Oh, now I understand. Thanks for making me understand this virus.
You're welcome, Kaden.
But what about those doctors and nurses? I feel bad about them.
That is why we should show much respect and gratitude to our frontliners. They brave to face this virus every day, and at the same time, they're not tired showing their care to these patients. You know, these patients are also alone because they can't see their family while they're sick. Their nurses essentially become their family, and that's why the nurses are called heroes.
Just like Mom and Dad, I'm proud that they are nurses.
So am I, kids. So am I.
Hello, everyone. So I will begin with the introduction. Jean Watson, she had her BSN, her MS, and PhD. She was born in West Virginia. She was chair in caring science at University of Colorado, Denver, and Anschutz Medical Center campus. She was the founder of Original Center for Human Caring in Colorado. She was a fellow of American Academy of Nursing. She holds the title of Distinguished Professor of Nursing at University of Colorado, and she created a nonprofit foundation, Watson Caring Science Institute, to further the work of caring science in the world. Central themes and concepts. This is where patient-centered care for QSIN competency will go into effect. Human being perceived as a whole being. Health. It's viewing health as within and moving along in congruence with which it includes maintaining health and functioning. Efforts to lead towards a better health and absence of ill-being. Nursing. It's being authentically present and enabling and sustaining the deep belief system and subjective life world of self and one being cared for. The soul plays a part of healing process. Actual caring occasion. That's where the nurse and the patient work together to build a rapport and common understanding of caring toward one another. Transpersonal. It's how the nurse affects and is affected by the person who is the patient, and how this will affect both the patient and the nurse in the process and what they will do and how it will help them build a union together. Central themes and concepts. Use the person as a meta-paradigm as a whole, mind, body, spirit as one. Treating the person as a whole does not define the person as the disease. Focus of the theory, the caring interventions by the nurse towards the patient through transpersonal caring relationship, focuses on health promotion and disease prevention. The goal of nursing is to assist the patient to achieve a well-balanced state within the mind, body, spirit through the use of the 10 Caritas processes to promote a caring nurse and patient relationship.
It's okay. Everything's going to be okay. You're going to survive COVID-19. You have your mom next to you. This is where you provide patient care. I'm going to bring in the doctors, the social workers, the dietitians, and we're all going to be involved in your care. That's the interdisciplinary team. Third, evidence-based practice. So I found some journals in NIH, and it says that azithromycin and hydrochloride are working for COVID-19, and there's people in trial right now. So let's just wait for that, okay? But don't cry. Everything's going to be okay. Next is quality improvement. How are we going to improve this? We're going to be recording all the objectives and subjectives to make sure that this trial goes the right way. Safety. How are we going to provide safety? We're going to make sure that the patient has no adverse effects to this medication. Mother, as soon as you see any rash, any shortness of breath, please let us know immediately. That way we could catch the adverse effects right away. And lastly, informatics. Informatics is us nurses learning every day from this disease and how to improve it as well. All this is very important in the QSIN's well-being. Very important. And this is how Watson Dairy plays a role in the QSIN competency.
QSIN competencies, theory, development, and concept formation. Watson's work, a philosophy, blueprint, ethic, paradigm, worldview, treatise, conceptual model, framework, theory. Theory by Watson, imaginative grouping of knowledge, ideas, experience that are represented symbolically and seek to describe a given phenomenon. Watson's theory, it's a phenomenological, existential, spiritual orientation from the sciences and humanities. It is a philosophical and intellectual guidance from feminist theory, metaphysics, phenomenology, quantum physics, wisdom traditions, perennial philosophy, Buddhism. Background for her theory: Nightingale, Henderson, Leninger, Peplau, Rogers, Newman, Godot. Big influence on Watson's theory: Carl Rogers' view that nurses should not manipulate and control patients, but to understand them. First cues and competency, patient-centered care. Reform views at a time when therapeutic control and manipulation of patients were considered the norm. Main concepts of Watson's theory: 10 caritas and person-to-person healing and caring relationship. Caring moment, caring occasion, caring healing modalities, caring consciousness energy, phenomenal file, unitary consciousness. Cues and competencies, theory development and concept formation, continuation. Transpersonal caring relationship, foundation for this theory. It is a special kind of human care relationship, a union with another person. Transpersonal caring relationships coexist with first cues and competency. Patient-centered care that focuses on including patients in all decisions and providing loving care that's based on a patient's needs and values. Caring loving relationship between nurses and patients is emphasized through all 10 Caritas processes. This kind of relationship coexists with fifth cues and competency, safety, which emphasizes preventing harm to patients. If you care about your patients, first thing you worry about is their safety. Watson, in her theory, emphasized joining of science with humanities, empiricism, information received by senses observation and experimentation, and nursing phenomena, the third cues and competency, evidence-based practice. Watson's theory shows importance of ongoing personal and professional development and growth for nurses, as well as personal spiritual practice. The fourth cues and competency, quality QI, quality information. Cues and competencies, theory development and concept formation, continuation. Number 2. Jean Watson, in her nursing theory, talks about the importance of nurses' ability to connect with others, patients, families, co-workers, via verbal communication, body language, information and documentation, and other scientific, technical, and human means of communication. The second and sixth cues and competency, teamwork and collaboration, and informatics.
Improvement in nursing, patient care. At times, we often forget the importance of providing empathetic care to our patients. We are often short on time and piled up on tasks. Hospitals need adequate staffing and resources made available to nurses to ensure that patient is cared for as a whole and their needs are anticipated and met more frequently, which will lead to a better care and reach patient-centered goals efficiently without delays. Nursing education. Nursing is a fast, ever-changing environment. We are often held responsible to finish online video tutorials to ensure that we are up to date with new evidence-based practice, policies, and regulations. Nursing education should be provided in a steady, non-hurried pace to ensure adequate intake of provided information. This will lead to improved patient outcome, which in return will reduce further medical errors.
Distinguishing between philosophical theories versus models. A philosophical theory sets forth the meaning of phenomena through analysis, reasoning, and logical argument. Conceptual models are concepts and their relationships that specify a perspective and produce evidence among phenomena specific to the discipline. Both a philosophical theory and a conceptual model are needed to try to explain, prove or disprove a concept in the nursing profession. Our theorist, Jean Watson, developed a philosophical theory based on the human caring concept.
Watson's 10 Caritas philosophical process can be applied and modeled with our young COVID-19 patient and his family.
Based on the 10 Caritas process by Jean Watson, we can illustrate how each can be applied to our patient. Number 1, nurses to be kind and compassionate to our young patient and his mom. For example, the nurse can display a positive attitude and show empathy. The nurse will have a sense of satisfaction from this approach. Number 2, the nurse is to be authentically present when in the room and instill hope and faith to both patient and mom. The nurse should take his or her time when providing care inside the patient's room. Number 3, the nurse must develop deepening self-awareness and be sensitive to the patient and his mom. If the nurse is aware of his or her own feelings and how that affects the care, then better care can be provided. Number 4, developing and sustaining a trusting relationship between nurse, the child, and the parents. This comes with time. Number 5, the nurse can promote expression of positive and negative feelings when providing care. The nurse should be open to negative or positive feedback and build rapport. Number 6, creative problem solving and solution seeking attitude through the caring process. For instance, the nurse can help mom by bringing her food, toiletries, and others. Number 7, promotion of transpersonal teaching and learning between nurse, patient, and parents. In this case, mom happens to be a doctor. Transpersonal learning and teaching can take place. Number 8, creating a healing environment at all levels for the patient and the family. For instance, providing our young patient with toys, using music, prayers, etc. to support healing. Number 9, assistance with basic needs of child, including the mind, body, and spirit, and including the mom as well. Again, attending to basic needs, food, rest, and comfort. Number 10, opening to spiritual, mystery, unknown forces, being open to miracles.
Watson identified the role of nurses in the patient healing process. Watson theory identified nurses' professional roles. The method is based on professionalism and value as nurses dispatch duty. Caring, empathy, and moral value endorse professional identity within a humanistic context where values are under constant scrutiny. The value help nurses transcend nursing professionalism from being just a job to an entirely gratifying profession. Not only does it promote caring and it also equally informs how nurses show compassion to patients. They become caregivers. Values are essential to a nurse's health as practicing nurses find care meaning in their profession. Consequently, they go about their duty happily and professionally, connecting to the patient and promoting the hospital healing process. Technology and innovation bridges gap in the nursing profession. Technology improves services offered in hospital. With enhanced services, patients are served professionally and effectively, helping them develop faith in the health system. Trust is a value that promotes quick recovery in hospital. The adoption of technology is therefore very essential to the nursing profession.
Let us now look at how we can apply Watson's theory of caring on the ethical issues surrounding the COVID pandemic. In this time of pandemic, what do you think is ethically acceptable? One of the Caritas process that Dr. Watson teaches is the word deepen, which means solving problems or seeking solutions through the caring process. COVID-19 being a novel virus, the treatment guidelines for which are ever-changing, most of them investigational. As such, evidence about efficacy and safety are very limited. Providers are now faced with an ethical dilemma. However, Because of the seriousness of the current COVID situation, it is ethical to practice compassionate medicine. That is, using these proposed treatment plans to COVID patients without compromising their safety as long as there is informed consent. Under these circumstances, families usually find it difficult to make a decision for the patient. But because nurses have that ability to discuss the treatment plan along with its benefits and the possible side effects in a caring, patient, and empathic manner to the family, it makes it easier for the family to make an informed decision. Dr. Watson also teaches us the Caritas process of embrace, which she refers to as practicing loving kindness, compassion, and equanimity towards self and others. Nursing is a caring profession. Nurses are known for their caring embrace to their patients, especially the little children. However, in this COVID situation, it is ethical for nurses to practice self-love by thinking of their own safety first and the families they go home to after their shift. It is acceptable for nurses not to stay at the patient's room for an extended period of time unless medically necessary, for the safety of the patient, the other patients in the unit, and the nurses as well. Not being able to show physical caring at this time of COVID pandemic does not mean nurses are not able to express the caring process in some other ways. Nurses find time in their busy shift to call families to update on their patient status, or doing a video call for the patients so they can still connect with their families while they are apart. Nurses may express an alternative way of caring without compromising their own safety. Another Caritas process we can ponder upon is the word minister. According to Dr. Watson, minister is reverentially assisting patients while considering their basic needs as sacred acts and sustaining human dignity. In this time of COVID pandemic, patients who get hospitalized are not allowed to have family members in the hospital in order to mitigate the spread. Patients suffer and sometimes die without a family member beside them. However, our group presented to you a case of a pediatric patient who is suspected to have COVID but was allowed to have his mother with him during the entire course of his illness. Once again, healthcare providers are faced with a dilemma of purposely exposing the mother to her potentially COVID child or leaving the child alone in the care of the hospital staff. In this situation, it is ethical to knowingly expose the mother to her child despite the risks in order to meet the child's physical, emotional, and spiritual human needs. A mother's love is a basic need that no medical treatment can take the place of. Holding her sick child and providing that motherly care play an essential part in the recovery of the child.
Technology in nursing education. Technology in the current era has improved a lot of sectors, including healthcare. Incorporation of technology in nursing has improved the quality of care. Through the application of Watson theory, nurses take care of patients effectively. However, technology has led to the less use of the theory to more efficient ways. In the COVID-19 pandemic, nurses have gone back to applying the theory in care. This is because patients need more care from the nurses since the virus is deadly. Thus, in this pandemic, technology and the use of the Watson theory work efficiently. In this slide, I will share the pros and cons of using technology in nursing. Starting with the pros. Technology ensures quicker communication, leads to quicker laboratory results, helps improve scheduling for the nurses, increases patient safety, ensures efficient charting. These pros have come in handy in the current pandemic. Nurses use technology to produce efficient test results of a patient's test. For instance, the laboratory tests presented in the study show efficient results. The cons of using technology in nursing. Equipment may malfunction, leading to crisis in the facility. Power outages may lead to putting patients in critical condition at risk. Nurses do not pay much attention to patients. The information system may be at risk of being attacked or breached by hackers. Technology has made the Watson theory worthless to nurses. For instance, in this current pandemic, most nurses focus on the technology. They care less for the patients who are affected than before technology implementation.
In conclusion, QSIN competency plays a big role in COVID-19 situations by utilizing Gene Watson's theory. The main reason this theory was applied to our case study is because people cannot be treated like objects. Caring is a big factor in COVID-19 patients because they are scared and require someone to care for them. Lastly, we utilize Watson in our everyday living for caring for ourselves and others.
Thank you.
Большое спасибо and toda rabah.
Maraming salamat po.
Shnorakalutsun.
Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado.
Merci.
Shnorakalityan.
Muchas gracias.